Welcome to another episode of Nintendo Historia, part of Nintendo Ninja News, and we are here to talk about the Wii Balance Board. Now, I have it here with me, which is fairly bulky. So let's get through some of the basics. It was released in Japan November 1st, 2007, followed by April the 25th, 2008. In Europe, Australia, followed by May the 8th, and then May the 19th in North America that same year of 2008. It ran on 4 AA batteries, and it was Bluetooth and had 4 pressure sensors. It also measures the center of balance of the intersections, very much like this. It was the way that it did it. And the Japan model had a limit of 138 kilos, and the US had a limit of 150 kilos. It was a bit of a similar board to the Joy board for the Atari VCS back in the early 80s, but was definitely nowhere near as advanced as the Wii board. Now, Nintendo, when they were trying to make this thing, went to manufacturers of bathroom scales. But due to the costs and issues around that, they decided to scrap that idea and just make them themselves, which was very interesting. It has sold over 42 million units and is the best-selling personal weighing scales of all time, oddly enough. Here it is, this huge thing here. And of course, it's a bit grotty, isn't it? And of course, you turn it on the sensor bar like this, and you can feel the sensors. Just this light sensor thing. So it's a very interesting device, and they're dirt cheap now. If you buy them secondhand here in Australia, they're $20. Because they sold so many of them, and it's the same thing with any very successful piece of hardware. So I'm going to put on my little glasses so I can actually read things. Now, sorry about the pause there. So basically, it was based on the balance board was a simple scale of 1 load cell. However, they discovered that that type of technology would not work. So when Yoshi sits on his scales, they decided to expand the number of load cells to 2 and then 4 for that. So that is how they did it, and the shape of the balance board was initially a square, but they decided to cut it into the rectangle. So when Yoshi sits on it, it feels the pressure of it and the weight of it, and it takes a certain amount of time for it to get the reading. So that's why it says, breathe in, breathe out, wait a little while it's checking your weight. And there's Yoshi there. Thank you, Woolly Yoshi, for the demonstration, because it would be a lot easier than me. So, and coupled with the very well famous game Wii Fit and then Wii Fit Plus, it was a huge hit for Nintendo and sold over 40 million. It's amazing. Nearly 40% of Wii owners bought that game and the balance board. And the technology was pretty cool back in its day. Obviously, that time period has probably passed, but it's proof that Nintendo can turn something into a bit of fun with that technology. So, very, very interesting piece of history where Nintendo goes out of its comfort zone a bit and ended up with a big winner there. So, that is the history lesson for today, and I'll see you next time.